All right, great. Thanks for finding us here on YouTube. This is the Fox 26 Tropical Update. I'm meteorologist John Dawson. Every day we're here updating you on the finer points of what's happening out in the tropics. We mostly spend our time on the Atlantic basin. Sometimes we'll touch on the Pacific when we need to, but definitely today we are going to be talking about the Atlantic, and I'm going to get to the tropical wave in just a moment because we've been tracking one for sure in the Caribbean and now kind of more in Central America than anything else, but kind of setting ourselves up for what's going to be coming in the forecast for next week. We're kind of wrapping up 1 week here, getting ready for the next week. We see these storms that are rolling off of the coast of Africa, and it's very typical this time of the year to see those kind of stay together and become even more organized and then become more tropical as they take on those tropical characteristics and then form tropical depressions and storms and maybe even hurricanes and start kind of moving across the Atlantic. So this is getting primed. It's getting ready. This is exactly what we'd expect to find in mid-August as we look for the conditions to be just getting ripe for these storms to really start forming, and we're going to see those named storms become a little bit more common in the Atlantic. Now, getting back here closer to this tropical wave that we've been watching, it once again is over land. It has kind of this history of being over land, and then it moves back over water a little bit, sort of that center of that wave. And most of the rain is a little bit to the north and the east of where we're kind of centering up the actual wave itself. The low pressure that's in Guatemala is where it's over at the moment. And so it is still expected to kind of move over the southeastern portions of Mexico and then into the Bay of Campeche, which again eventually empties into the Gulf of Mexico. So when we take a look at what the Hurricane Center is saying, the yellow X there representing where the tropical wave is, and all the storms and the unsettled weather that kind of goes along with that, as I mentioned, is just a little bit further to the north. The large area in yellow, this is where is expected or could possibly form into a tropical system, not necessarily an impact area or not necessarily where it will stay. It's just where the formation could take place. And again, that's going to be anywhere in this yellow area. And right now, the Hurricane Center has things relatively low as far as the developmental chance that it would become something tropical, 30% in both the 2 and 5 day range. So when you see that 2 and 5 day being the same number, it typically means high confidence or low confidence in the long term. So we're kind of beginning to watch this, not really aggressively, because I just don't think that it's going to develop into a big storm or anything like that. Most likely what's going to happen is this wave is going to get out here and maybe it'll get a little bit tropical, maybe it won't, but it's going to sort of meander around a little bit and start heading towards South Texas. And I think in the end, whether it's a tropical depression or whether it remains more or less a tropical wave or a tropical low or a Gulf low, it's probably going to end up sort of continuing inland in northern Mexico or southern Texas. And for us here in the Houston area, it's going to continue to bring some more unsettled weather our direction in a not so direct way as far as a landfall or something like that. We'll be definitely getting some of that moisture kind of thrown our direction from it. But lots of possibilities there, lots of just sort of kind of giving some of that educated guessing a little bit to some degree, because the computer modeling on it is not going to be solid at this point because it's not over water. It really needs that somewhat closed circulation, and it needs to be over water before it really gets an idea. When you have this over the land like that, it can wander around just a little bit too much. So still some time with that and not overly concerned, even though the waters are very warm there in the Gulf, that it would develop into a big storm, but it certainly could be a tropical system, and it could certainly stay not a tropical system and bring some rain to portions of Texas in some manner or another, which we could still use some rain around here for sure, even though we've got a little bit last week. Quick reminder, at John Dawson, Fox 26. That's how you'll find me on social media. I'd appreciate it if you want to give me the follow. And then on Fox 26 weather app, go to your favorite app store and get the Fox 26 weather app. Even if you're not in the Houston area, it's great to have this on your phone. You'll be able to, of course, get local forecasts wherever you are. But when there is a tropical system and the National Hurricane Center is pushing out information, you'll get that right to your phone, and you can manage how you receive that, and you'll be able to see whatever those tropical systems are forecasted to do. And that's just sort of good as part of hurricane planning in general. So that would be a good idea. Again, go to your favorite app store. Of course, it's free, and you'll get that onto your phone. We'll be back here on YouTube tomorrow. Make sure you check us out.